Beta Series, media partner of the Berlin TV Series Festival 2020. Hello, welcome to you all. Thank you for being with us today on Beta Série. All along the week, we're going to be discussing with authors, writers, actors, and producers of selected TV series for the TV Series Festival in Berlin. And today, we're going to be talking with the team, the creative team of a new TV series called The Chef. We just saw one episode because they're still producing it in Israel. To be honest with you, we're going to be calling them from their editing room. Orit Dabush and Erez Kav-el, who worked on a lot of TV series in Israel. With them, we're going to be talking about The Chef, of course, but also about being a showrunner in Israel. You're going to see the implication that they have back in the pre-production process, because they're working on the TV series for the past 2 years, and they're still working on it before it's being broadcasted internationally. Orit Dabush and Erez Kav-el. Thank you so much, Orit Dabush and Erez Kav-el, to be the focus of the day in a conversation that we're doing with lots of artistic team for the Berlin TV Series Festival. Thank you for being with us. You're the creators and the writers of a new TV series called The Chef. It could change the name internationally, but for the time being, it's The Chef. I saw the first episode this morning. I loved it. So we have 25 minutes to talk about that. First of all, maybe I'd like to know when was the idea born, and who had the idea first, and how did it all begin?
Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry,
I just wondered how you got the idea of this new TV series. Who had the idea, and were you approached, or were you the one who approached the studios? How did it all happen?
Well, actually, the idea came. We started working on the series a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. The idea came. I don't know. It's hard to explain how an idea comes to you. But I was a cook, a chef for a few years when I was in my early 20s. Okay. I wanted to go to study in Paris, actually, and before I asked my parents for 15,000 euros to go to a culinary school, I thought it would be better to work a little bit in the kitchen, because I never worked in the kitchen, just loved the idea. And I started working. I knew somebody who opened an Italian restaurant. And I asked him if I could just start working, and he said, "Okay, you can come. I will not pay you, but you can start working." And that's how I came to that world. I started working. I worked for a month with no salary, but I loved it. I loved the work, but I immediately felt that or understood that I don't want to be a cook. I don't want to be a chef, and I did my SATs and enrolled to film school. But I needed to make a living, and so I stayed in the kitchen and worked as a cook for another 7 or 8 years while I was in film school, and after that I even started writing scripts, and I was writing by the day and working at the kitchen at nights. And,
okay, so it's inspired on true events then, on true facts.
Facts,
the vibe.
Yeah, on true vibes. I think that vibes is more correct than facts, because there's not a lot of facts, but inspired with characters I knew, people I met in the kitchen, all sorts of chefs. And so about I met a few people, a few persons that like Nimrod, one of our main characters, came with no experience in the middle of the life, came into the kitchen because they were in some economic problem. They needed to earn money, and they needed a part-time job. And I met a few persons like that, and they always their point of view on the kitchen was always very interesting to me, to see how somebody from the outside sees us.
And I think it could be appealing to a lot of people in a post-COVID era. Of course, this new TV series was shot before and written before, but lots of people are losing their job in Paris, all over the world because of the COVID. And I think it could be appealing, this TV series, for them. And Orit Dabush, how did you get into the project? How did you get involved into the chef?
Erez and I worked on a series that Erez wrote a few years before, edited the script, and during that time I was looking at my husband experiencing the midlife crisis, dreaming about leaving his job in high tech and do something with his hands, feel like he can live outside of the offices. And it made me look at masculinity, and to see how a man asks questions in the age of 40 and try to look who are they and what are they worth when women get their freedom at this age because they finish with the giving birth and start living. Men keep asking themselves where are they going from this point in life. So I think that's the point we met with these two characters.
And before we go on,
she comes from.
Okay, that's a good pair. And before we go on the themes of this TV series, even though I just watched one episode this morning, but how did you write together? Because once again, you're both creators and writers. So how did you write? Did you write together? Did someone did an episode and the other one did the sequel? How does it happen when you're both writers and creators on a show?
We were sitting together for 2 years every day from morning till whatever time we could, just sitting together. We wrote everything together on the same computer,
bringing our life into the words, bringing the conflicts from what we know from between us, everything we put on the script.
We were fighting
our
constantly.
Heart is inside.
So the pre-production lasted for 2 years.
Yeah, more than 2 years. More than 2 years. Yeah.
But the TV series was all financed before by the network, or did you have a network while writing the TV series?
No, we were financed. We were financed from writing. So.
And how do you feel about this TV series being broadcasted in a post-COVID era? Just like I said earlier, lots of people are losing their jobs, so it could be appealing to a lot of people. Isn't it funny that this hit TV series, this probably hit TV series, is broadcasted after what just happened?
Yeah, well, actually, when we start filming, when we start shooting, COVID was a rumor, something that happened in China. And very quickly it got to us, and we actually asked ourselves a lot of times, how are we relevant? How the world of the culinary world, the restaurants are relevant in this area? We don't have an answer actually, but I think that the restaurant world, the culinary world, is something. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I think that people will relate to the show because there's something romantic now about looking at a restaurant.
Did you shoot, by the way, because we're talking about post-production, but did you shoot the whole series? Is it all like mixed on the sound and stuff, or do you still have episodes to be shot?
No, we shot all the series. We have a few scenes to complete, but we shot all the episodes. We're still in editing. Actually, we're talking to you now from our editing room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're both involved in the editing process then? You're not just writers and creators because you're involved in the post-production. Not all writers and creators do that. You're involved in the editing process.
Erez is more sitting here longer, and I visit once in a while. course, watch the episode and we talk, and Erez is editing it since he was directing the show.
Okay, I got it. And how many episodes will we have? Because once again we just had one episode this morning, but we didn't have any information about the number of episodes. So how much episodes did you shoot for the TV series?
9 episodes. The series with the first season is.
And I just wondered because I saw once again the TV series this morning, and I just wondered because we saw lots of TV series and shows about kitchen and cook, particularly in the past 20 years. This one is different because of the techniques. I think that the techniques is a big reflection of your writing. For example, and once again I chose this one episode, but we feel with the characters. There's a camera who follows all of the characters and who turns with them, and we don't suffocate with them. It's a small area, but we do not suffocate. We are with the characters. Was it something that you imagined on the writing, how it was going to be shot, or was it prepared on the set? Because we really feel that the techniques of the camera reflects the writing of the characters.
Yeah, I think that it's partly was planned and imagined while we were writing. There's a lot of the scenes in the kitchen and the service scenes. We were writing then, and we knew. I knew, and we knew how we wanted to it will be felt. We wanted to be inside the kitchen, to feel like you're inside. You're not looking from an outside point of view, but you're really inside the kitchen. And since I know how it feels to be in a kitchen, we tried to portray that feeling through writing, and then of course through shooting. When we before shooting with Guy Raz, my PD, we did we took that ambition to the next step, and we planned the shooting and to be as much alive and documentary as possible.
As far as possible than kitchen shows we know on TV.
Yeah.
It does work. It seems very different from everything I see, and the kitchen is another character. It's just like it's another character in the episode that I saw this morning. Just to go back on what you said about the writing process and the post-production process, is it something from your country to be involved that far ahead in the production? Once again, 2 years before the broadcasting, writing, then shooting, then editing, then mixing. Is it a particularity from your country, or is it just your way of work? Because we don't have a lot of directors or creators who are that involved in the process of a TV series in our show.
Since we're doing, I think that we're doing like a handmade series. Since we are working in very low budget in Israel, I think there is no other way but being involved in every little details and in every part of the process. If how they say, if you want something to be right, to be done right, you have to do it yourself.
And you're talking about low budget, and once again, I just saw one episode, but it doesn't seem like it. So once again, if it's really low, then the spectator doesn't see it. So once again, congratulations for that. How does it feel then to be selected in an international TV series festival, just like the Berlin one? That's why I'm talking to you right now, because your TV series does seem international. It's happening for Parisian people. It could be happening for London people, from New York people, particularly in this area. But did you write it as an international TV series or not? Did you maybe you didn't even think about that writing it?
I think emotions are international, and if you understand people, you can touch everyone everywhere. And I think a good story is made of this.
But I don't think we didn't plan.
No.
We didn't focus on an international audience. We actually wanted to be as local as possible. We wanted to be as local and as particular and specific, and write about the Tel Aviv culinary scene, believing that as local as you are, as international. The more you are local, the more you are international.
Yeah, and it's definitely universal. There are universal themes in the episode I saw this morning that could be happening to everybody. And I wanted to focus about the actors, because the actors are amazing. They are extremely natural. They are, once again, I was talking about the technique, and the techniques follows them, but we have scenes for 2 and 3 minutes without cut, and they're incredibly amazing. There's a climax growing all around the first episode I saw. How did you choose the actors? Did you write thinking about them? Did you choose them after, or how did it happen in the casting process, and to work with them, because they are all amazing, and the female ladies, the female characters as well?
Thank you.
Thanks. Actually, we didn't write the parts for particular actors. We did a kind of a normal casting process. We did auditions. We saw a lot of people, and.
But we knew exactly what we want from each and every one character. So it took a long time to find the accurate actors for each and every character.
Yeah, and I think that finally the actors are all really great actors. But the thing with them is that all of our cast, all the actors are not. It is not the only thing they do. They are not just actors. Gal Toren, who plays Dori the chef, is a musician. Guri Alfi, who plays Nimrod, is a comedian, is a stand-up artist, host. Rotem Sela, who plays...
lawyer.
Yeah, she's a lawyer and a TV host. Everybody, they're not just actors, they're multi-talented, and
just like the main character of your fiction, then, who has a job and then who totally changes for another job.
Yeah, but so it's
indeed.
And we have a lot of non-actors also playing, in the kitchen. The chefs around most of them are non-actors, are real chefs.
They're not extras. They're really in the cooking business.
Yes, completely. We were shooting, for more than a month in the kitchen, and while we were shooting scenes, they were cooking food for the break. They were cooking lunch and dinner. So
okay. That's simple. And do you feel that it's more natural to have, because here in France, for example, when we do have a shooting, the law, there's an obligation to hire extras. So sometimes it does not look like natural, particularly when we're doing a TV series about cooking. And there it does seem natural. So do you think that having real cooks help adding some natural in the filmmaking?
Yeah, completely. It was impossible to do it with extras. They knew they knew what they had to do. They helped me a lot. We have, in the next episode, we have very long scenes of service, 5-6 minutes of long scenes of cooking and taking out the food outside, and it was impossible to do it without real chefs that knows not only what to do, but how to move, how to speak, how to shout, how to get pissed when something doesn't suit them. So yeah, they were great, and we had also, since we were shooting for so long, we had a sense of camaraderie, or a team was created. We were really like a kitchen team.
How long was the shooting process? How long did you shoot the TV series for 9 episodes?
Shot for 38 days.
Okay, 38 days. And do you know if because of course I'm going to tell our listeners to watch this TV series, which is, I hope, coming to France very soon, but you're still in the editing room, so maybe it's too soon to say, but will we see the TV series in France? Do you have international sales yet, or not yet? And for the time being, just your national network, and then we'll see, or is it bought internationally?
It's not yet. We're still editing. we are still in the in the making of the series.
Okay.
So no, we don't have. We hope we hope for the best, but
I really hope so too, because I haven't seen TV series talking about that kind of subject so brilliant in a long time, and especially in France. While writing the TV series, or maybe preparing for the shooting, did you have some TV series of references for the writing, for maybe for the light, or maybe just for the usual visual feeling? Did you go back to some TV series, to some books, to some movies, or did you go into the making of the chef totally free and not seeing anything before?
We saw a couple of series before in our life. I don't think that you can come really blank.
There's one movie, I think, that really made me think about this subject and about this position of men in our generation, and called Force Majeure, Ruben Östlund Force Majeure movie. I remember it amazed me to understand how men feel about their obligation to be strong and not show feelings, and never to show fear. So that put that idea in my mind. And I know it has no connection to the kitchen, but I think it tells the story of these two characters somehow.
And I'm saying that we were influenced by a lot of things, I think. But we saw like 1,000 times, we saw the opening scene of Ang Lee's film, Eat, Drink, and Woman. And the amazing opening scene of the father of the family cooking the traditional Sunday meal for his daughters. And this is something that, the watching somebody who's working, and this is the kind of experience we wanted to have in our serials.
And my last questions, I was kind of amazed this morning by once again all of the scenes in the kitchen, half of the first episode, maybe more than half of the first episode, and it gave me, by the way, there are lots of food that I didn't know, a specialty for your country which we do not have in France. What was the most enjoyable meat? This is a superficial question, but still, it's a TV series about cooking. So, what is the most enjoyable meat that you ate during the shooting? Because there are lots of scenes when people are not eating but preparing food, but I guess people ate the food after. So what was the most enjoyable thing that you ate during the shooting?
With no doubt, we shot an octopus and we grilled it, and it was amazing.
Okay, the octopus then. For you, it's the same thing, Orit Dabush?
For me, it's, excuse me?
It's the same thing with the octopus as well? The most enjoyable meat you ate?
That day, I missed that day.
Yeah, she wasn't there that day. But most of the time, we ate, lousy food that you eat on set. We didn't have time to eat properly, of course.
Yeah, what we call in France table régie. And my last question, if you had maybe a theme or a message that you want people to get with this TV series, maybe a universal theme or maybe a universal message that you want people to have when they see the 9 episodes of The Chef, what would it be? Without, of course, and obviously not spoiling anything about the storytelling.
Do you have? I don't know. I don't think we have a message, but the thing that was very there was the focus of all our doing in that series to show how the kitchen can bring you up and take you down, how it can elevate your spirit and how it can break it. And I think it's a love and a hate relationship with the kitchen, with the culinary world, and I don't know. I hope that people will like it.
They will definitely. And Orit Dabush, maybe something to add?
I'll take Erez's word and go with them.
And I think that people will definitely enjoy watching the chef and not the cook. So you're still editing it. So of course, we'll tell our French listeners when it's going to be about in France. And I hope it's going to be about really, really soon, because I really enjoyed the first episode. Thank you so much for being with us today. Good luck editing the end of your TV series. And thank you for this amazing body of work I saw this morning for the first episode. Thank you to both of you, Erez Kav-el and Orit Dabush. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for your time. Sorry for at the beginning we have some troubles in the techniques, and we really wanted to have it really good. So it's great, and it's going to be broadcasting next week. And I really, really, really can't wait to see the end of the TV series, because it was not a lie. I really liked the first episode. So thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you.
You take care. You take care in the editing room. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to Orit Dabush and Erez Kav-el, writers and creators of The Chef for Yes Network in Israel. And we're still waiting for the name of the networks internationally. We're going to see each other this week, because all along the week we're going to be discussing with the others, writers, actors and producers of the selected TV series of the Berlin TV Series Festival on Beta Series. Thank you for being with us today, and see you tomorrow. Beta Series, media partner of the Berlin TV Series Festival 2020.